Welcome to Unfighting in Thailand, the best news and analysis covering the economics and infrastructure of Muay Thai. I'm Matt Lucas, journalist, commentator, and ex-Muay Thai fighter. Make stronger fighters, make stronger people. Today we will be talking to my good friend Biar as part of our series on career development. Biar is a producer for GSV, Global Sport Venture, and also a long-term employee, MC, graphic designer, voice actor, man about town for Max Muay Thai. As always, if you'd like to reach me, you can follow me on Instagram, MattLucasMuayThai, or email me at a.matt.lucas@gmail.com. I also have my website, matt-lucas.com. Thanks to all the people that have supported me so far, sharing the podcast, leaving reviews. If you'd like to leave a review, that would be super helpful. You can do so on the iTunes store. Also, after years of hard work, studying, and being in the game, I published a Muay Thai encyclopedia. It is called Fighting in Thailand, a guide to the sport in the motherland. It is a clear guide that goes over scoring, matchmaking, picking a gym, fight styles, gambling, Muay Thai culture, and more. Fighting in Thailand educates and helps guides careers by helping save fighters from costly mistakes. This definitive guide is available on Amazon in print and as an ebook. So check it out. Just type in "On Fighting in Thailand." As always, thanks to Patrick Rivera for helping me get this show started. So without further ado, the interview with Biar. Hello, Biar. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. So I know you're very busy, so I appreciate you taking your time out. Why don't we get started with a little bit of your background? How did you first become involved with Muay Thai and the sport?
Okay. Back in 2014, Max Muay Thai asked me to do the computer graphic for their shows, and that's the beginning because before I worked in CG industry. Also,
Mhm.
I was an animation producer. Never never heard of like a Muay Thai fighter before. Never went to Muay Thai stadium before.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like a journey for me to study all the Muay Thai industry. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's been quite a journey. Now you've been in the industry for 8 years.
yeah,
Eight.
approximately 8 years.
So, you've developed your skills and you've developed your career in the sport. What sort of things did you learn from working at Max Muay Thai?
So I learned so many things at Max Muay Thai. Like for the beginning, it's like all the Muay Thai stuff. I have to learn all of that, and I
Mhm.
have to understand how the judges doing, or how the rules, or
Mhm.
uh, where the promoters work. Like I have to work with the promoters, Muay Thai promoter. I have to work with the Muay Thai fighter. I have to take photo of them and create computer graphic for them. In the beginning, at that time, I do the voiceover for Max Muay Thai, like videos and promo. So my ex boss, Mr. Nawat, he just he said, "Oh, my voice is good. Why don't you try it on the stage too? We want
Mhm.
to have our own announcer." So uh, that was my my I get into the Muay Thai announcer, like ring announcer from Max. Like
Mhm.
my boss taught me many things, how to be on the stage, how to act, like how
Mhm.
to have a good pronunciation on the stage. So that was my beginning with Muay Thai ring announcer and Muay Thai producer job
Mhm.
back
Yeah,
then.
you basically did a little bit of everything. You were in charge of the graphic departments. You had to work with the promoters, and you worked as an MC and ring announcer for years. What do you think was the hardest of those roles that you filled?
The hardest thing is how to make all of those like works well. I mean, like you need to get things done, and Muay Thai is a live event, live shows. Everything can be wrong during the live show. So I have to be like I have to be conscious. I have to be like alert all the time and have to prepare myself. I have to prepare everyone to ready for the live event. Some things go wrong, we have to fix it right away. And also sometimes the fighters go go wrong. Like sometimes I don't know. Sometimes they're cheating. Sometimes they don't. We have to
Mhm.
figure it out right away. How to react to the camera. How to what to say. What to not to prevent people from talking bad about the shows if something wrong happened.
Mm. Can you give me an example of something that went wrong and the way you were able to fix it?
Oh, but sometime like sometimes the fighters they don't do a good fight, and then the judges ask them to leave the stage like no contest something.
Mm.
And right away I have to like think how to talk to the camera to tell people that this fight is not a good fight, or I shouldn't. I have to figure it out right away.
Mm.
And back in 2015, I think, Max Muay Thai was on fire at that time, and everyone is like was panic because the stadium was burned down, and like in 3 or 4 days we're gonna have our next fight, and we have the contract with the TV channel that if we don't have, we're gonna lose big amount of money. So it's like it was crazy back then. And then so we set up a new temporary like ring and stadium in the back of the burned down stadium. Right away, like within 3 days, we set up all the LED screen, all the camera was burned down. We had to rent it. So that time was quite chaotic, but it went well. Like only 3 days to set up all the things and put it on the show. So like crazy thing can happen all the time. Since I was at Max Muay Thai until now, even in Buriram.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was pretty wild. I remember some of those shows, and they were still very high level. You had the silver belt and gold belt tournaments
yeah,
at the time, and they were held in the outdoor arena just behind Max.
yeah.
Why Max was pretty successful for a long time. Why do you think it was so successful?
Max Muay Thai have a good chemistry of like Thai fighters against like against foreigner. I mean, like against people from all over the world, which is like Muay Thai is like best. It's like originate from Thailand, and like all the fighters that all the people that learn Muay Thai have to beat or have to fight against the original Muay Thai fighters, like Thai people. Yeah. So, and also the stadium is very like very nice. Have a big LED screen, have all the lighting, all the sounds, and all the crowd that went to Max at that time was crazy. People cheering for the fighters. The atmosphere is like so energetic,
Mm,
and everything is like combined into like Max Muay Thai success. You know.
mm. What what role do you think you had in helping Max be successful? Because you were a big presence at the stadium and for the company.
Um, actually, I was a like TV producer at that time for Max, and also I designed most of the graphic on like on TV, and also all the all the voicing stuff, all the like voiceover stuff, all the um, even some songs, some theme songs. I was written it, and some song I sang by myself. So I do many things, and also back in like 2015 to 18 or 19, I think I can't remember that, but I I I went with my boss to Monaco, to China, to many countries to like selling the Max Muay Thai rights to broadcast all over the world. So I did many things, yeah, for Max.
Yeah, were you the voice behind the theme song where it's like Max, Max, Max?
Yeah, that's awesome too. And they have another show called the Hero
Mhm.
Champion Challenge, something. I sang that one, but it was quite short, short period. The show was on TV like for 6 months or something.
So go. Obviously, you did a lot with the graphics and back end of it. What was it like working with some of the promoters and the fighters as well?
Oh, so back when I was at Max, Max Muay Thai promoters, they are like there were 15 or 16 of them. I'm not actually I wasn't actually involved directly because that was another part of my responsibilities. But I had to work with them. I have to I have to work with them in order to like manage all the fighters to take photos for me to do the graphic
Mm-hmm.
or to list on the fight card stuff. But yeah, they like they were good friends. They were good guys, and I was very enjoy working with them with all the promoters of Max Muay Thai. Yeah,
And in total, how many years did you work at Max? You said about eight,
six, I think
six,
six. Yeah,
6 years.
from 2014 until like 20 or I think 2020 December 2020
Mm.
that Max temporarily shut down.
Yeah.
So I quit. Yeah.
And do you think that there was, what was the impact you think that Max Muay Thai had on Muay Thai in Thailand and around the world?
Um, I mean, like before Max Muay Thai was like, I mean, before Muay Thai was like traditional 5 rounds, and sometimes it involved a lot with gambling.
Hmm.
Like in Thailand, I mean, like people always like gambling with Muay Thai 5 round Muay Thai. So for 3 rounds, people don't do gambling or not that much. So the fight wasn't like affect by gamblers,
Hmm.
and also 3 rounds was like very quick, and people like normal audience can understand how the fight's going, how the judges working. So it became like famous all over the world easily by adapting into new rules of like 3 rounds Muay Thai,
Hmm.
and it was exciting because 3 rounds quite fast. So the fighters like do real quick action, lots of knockouts, a lot of TKO, a lot of bruise and blood. so it's more enjoyable than sometimes like traditional 5 rounds. Like people sometimes they dance, they keep dancing, no fighting in the last round because of like it's like gambling involved. Yeah,
Hmm.
so they don't want to make the score change. So like 3 rounds, like can be like earning the heart of audiences easily, easily.
Mm. And since Max has shut down, you've moved on to GSV,
Yes.
Global Sports Ventures. Can you talk about that and what your role is with that company?
Oh, so at GSV, like we are trying to make new things for Muay Thai industry. We try to like put on like innovation and technology and all the marketing strategy into uh, into uh, into Muay Thai industry. We try to gather all the big promoters to work together and create an like a one unite Muay Thai organization to make to reach like a world market. I mean like I work as a Muay Thai producer for GSV, and at GSV we have like Muay Thai and we have boxing producer too. So like we try to involve with many all the combat sports in Thailand and then make it big. Yeah. So this is GSV. Yeah.
Yeah. And you recently had a pretty big show out in Buriram, the Raja Demner Super Fight, where you had a bunch of different promoters. It was Kia Pet, Sorsamai, Pet Indy. You had guys from Fairtex. The
Yeah.
top level fighters. Why did GSV and you decide to help put that on, and what was the goal of that show?
The goal of that show is like we want to show that all the promoters can be united, can be unite,
Mhm.
can work together. We can have like a good big shows like that. All the like fighters, like the best fighters from each promoters fight each other in this show because it's never happened before in Thailand. I mean, like each promoter, each big promoter, like Pet Indie, Fairtex, or Sosomai, they have their own like league or their own their own like fighters to fight in that show. They don't do cross promotional fight because like sometimes like many reasons they don't want to the fighters to lose another big promoter
Mhm.
that gonna affect their like reputation. So now it's like in 40 years that we don't have this kind of fight like cross
Mhm.
promotional big cross promotional fight because they don't want to. But since COVID happened and GSV have had a big event that in Buriram that we can like have Muay Thai back in the industry again. Muay Thai was coming back because of like the government. They open for like Buriram to hold the Muay Thai during COVID situation because Buriram have a good protection, good COVID protection. All people in Buriram they got vaccinated like 90%, 99%. So it was a good start. Then all the promoter that we work with, like big one like Pet Indie, they agreed that okay, we can have like we should have like one big show to start the new era of Muay Thai after COVID uh, happened in Muay Thai industry.
Mhm.
Like after COVID occurred.
Yeah. And it was an amazing show. You had Sang Mini fighting Tapikau, the Raja Demnon belt between Kulab Dum and Yodlek Pet,
Okay.
Seksan versus Tonon Chai, Chorfa versus
Yeah.
Kampatak.
Sang
It was,
Mani. Yeah.
oh yeah, and Sang Mini.
Yeah.
It was a really awesome lineup. What were some of the challenges of putting that together? I know you said getting the promoters to work together, but were there other challenges of
Yes.
putting on the show?
Uh, it's it's like it's just like normal. Like all the promoter, they have their own like their own things that they don't they don't want this weight. They don't want to fight with this guy. Can we change that? Change to those, and also some fighters they have like a contract with other big shows. Like sometimes we have to like figure out how to make it work for all of them. They have
Hmm.
their own requirements that it's quite a challenge to gather all of them into one shows and create a big pictures like on, on that day all the promoters I mean like all the promoters all the big promoters in Thailand they went to Biram on that day like it's like a historic photography that all the promoters they line up and took photo together.
Hmm.
Quite very impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive seeing like Jun Kia with Jit Muang Nan Jit Muang Nan with Sor Samai and Bo Pet Indi. Everyone was together. Um, you talked a little bit about some of the marketing that you guys did for the show and things that GSV are doing different.
Yeah.
Like for instance, you guys had a face off
Yes.
on Thursday. Why did you guys decide to do that, and what was that like?
We want to change the picture of Muay Thai into like the new era, like the international standards, like boxing or even the MMA. They have face off, not just like easy face off production, but we need like a big production for the face off. Also, we have to like consider everything to be important parts of the marketing strategy, like online strategy. We put a lot of effort on online strategy. We built our pages, the GSV combat page, and we try to make new things on the page. We try to create a lot of awareness. Also, we put a lot of promo videos on the billboards all over Bangkok. So we try to make new things. We try many things. We try an online interview on online like post. We have like a video highlight. We have commentators commenting right away on online. So we try to have marketing strategy to cover to build like to build new things for Muay Thai industry. We need a good awareness this time. Yeah.
And did you see any of these online strategies or any of these marketing strategies work particularly well that you were surprised about?
I mean, for the show was live on Facebook and got like almost 900,000 viewers. So it's like it's quite a big thing for us that the page is very new. It's like we just create a page for like 2 months before the event, and it got a, a lot of uh, like and followers, and it was live during live it's like 30 30,000 people joining the live on JSV, and they keep watching it, and it's reached like a 900,000 viewers now. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's quite impressive.
thanks. Yeah. So it's like when you do things online, they have they have stats, they have statistics, and many things to show you, like for real. Like before, when you do Muay Thai shows on television, you just got only a rating, which we cannot like identify how they got the ratings, like how the big company got the rating for us. But now on the online stuff, we got very deep statistics on on like in the back end to show us the information and data. So we got a good good feedback from this show.
That's great. What are some of the next steps for you and GSV then? You've had this great show. What are some of the future plans?
The future plan that I can share with you is like we're gonna right now we in the progress of discuss with Rajadamnern Stadium. We work with them next year to improve the stadium, improve everything inside and outside of the stadium into a new era of Rajadamnern Stadium. So next year, like from now on, I think Rajadamnern Stadium will be back big again, because Rajadamnern Stadium was like a very like famous stadium. It's like the first Muay Thai stadium in Thailand for 76 years. So right now we're gonna change into like we're gonna adapt to the new more modern, more um, like we will put a lot of things into Rashidam Stadium, for to have like a good Muay Thai shows inside the stadium, because before it's like people held the 5 round Muay Thai at the stadium, and it it wasn't like a full production things. No LED, no like a few LED screen, or the place is quite, I mean, like 76 years old
Mhm.
building. uh, but we don't change much. Like we gonna keep the things that is like a good architecture, and like
Mhm.
a historical structure. We're gonna keep that, but we're gonna add more value to the stadium, and renew the ticketing, renew the, the lighting and the sounds, to make a good experience for new like for Muay Thai fans when they coming to the new era of Rashtaman Stadium next year. But we are on the process of like discussing and working with working with Rajadamnern Stadium right now.
That's great. You've obviously been in the sport for a long time, and you have a career in the sport.
Mhm.
Can you talk about what it's like having a career in Muay Thai, and how do you feel about it?
It depends on in on your job description. It's like if for me, I I'm a producer. I am a CG designer. I'm a voice over, and also a ring announcer. So my job description is like I'm like a hire gun to to make things to make things good on the TV, good on camera, to make things more exciting, more like like a good picture. So, but if you were like Muay Thai fighters and you're gonna like make a living with Muay Thai fighters career, you gotta be good. You gotta go train by the best Muay Thai gym, by the best trainer and stuff. You can make a living, but like since COVID, it's like many people drop out of Muay Thai industry because there wasn't any shows available. So I think next year is gonna be better and better after people got vaccinated. After we know how to treat, we know how to protect, prevent COVID to happen in inside the stadium stuff, and government allow more things to do, so people can back to like Muay Thai industry again. Like many foreign fighters, they went back to their house, to their hometown and to their countries, and like and have a regular work. Now they can come back and train in Thailand and earn money from fighting again. Many Muay Thai program, they were back to business. They are back to business again.
Mm.
Many TV station, yeah.
And because you've been involved in the sport for so long, and you've sort of been on some of the forefront of the sport changing, where do you see the sport and Muay Thai going now?
Now many Muay Thai promoters, they try to like go big. I mean, like let's say like Max Muay Thai, they want to like go worldwide and many things. So I think next step for Muay Thai is like make it like rebrand. I mean, renew the Muay Thai standards, renew the Muay Thai laws and regulation to match with international standards and stuff. So people can got people can got like like good picture of Muay Thai, like normal audiences, not just Muay Thai fan or not just Muay Thai gambler, can understand the new rules of Muay Thai and understand the belt, how the belt's going, and we're gonna have like a create a tournament, a league that can like can be worldwide accept. Like we want to be like the next let's say like the next UFC. Like Muay Thai gonna be things that are like people from all over the world understand it and want to train it, want to fight, want to watch it, and like we want to have like international fighters coming to Thailand to fight. I mean, to learn Thailand and to learn the traditional of like the Thai tradition and stuff more and more to create like tourist attraction back again after COVID. Yeah.
Mm. Awesome. Well, it sounds like you've got a lot going on, and that you've done a lot for the sport as well. I know you're quite busy, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. But was there anything that you wanted to talk about that we didn't get a chance to talk about?
Um, let's say I think Muay Thai gonna be good next year for like for the whole world. I mean, many countries, they have Muay Thai gym, they have Muay Thai league or even Muay Thai shows like England, America, China, and France. Like so, it's gonna come back again after like a long COVID shutdown because like many Muay Thai people like drop out of the industry. Now they're gonna be back again. Like I want just to invite all the Muay Thai like enthusiastic, like Muay Thai enthusiasm to come back again to train and to visit Thailand and to fight in Thailand to get a good experience in Thailand back again. So That was I want to say, like, we want to invite our foreign fighters back again to train. It's gonna be good. Next year gonna be good for Muay Thai, and so on and on and on and on. We're gonna be worldwide accepted very soon. Like, I think another 4 or 5 years, Muay Thai, we try to put Muay Thai into Olympics. So that's gonna be bigger and bigger for Muay Thai's industry, yeah.
Yeah.
Not just in Thailand.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I appreciate your enthusiasm as well. And I definitely appreciate all you've done for the sport, and definitely looking forward to seeing more of what GSV does in the future. The Buriram show, the other shows in Nissan have been great, and you've done a
Thank you.
great job. So I really appreciate you taking your time out here.
Yeah, you're welcome, Max. And like, it's good talking to you, and hope Muay Thai gonna be big again real soon. Yeah.
So that was a great interview with Biar. You know, there's not a lot of people that you can interview, especially Thais that speak very good English, to talk about the Muay Thai industry. And Biar has a lot of experience. 6 years at Max Muay Thai and another year or two at GSV. He's also been at the forefront of a lot of the developments in the sport. Max Muay Thai was one of the first real entertainment shows. It made a regular blueprint out of fast, action-packed fights. You know, the bonuses, the lighting, the type of photography it produced on Instagram. It really created a template for other shows to model. And Biar was a really, really big part of that. So it's interesting to hear about him and hearing about how his career has developed, working at Max Muay Thai and now working for GSV Global Sport Ventures, which is going to play a huge role, I think, in the future of Muay Thai. GSV had the regular show in Buriram. They helped put the stadium together for all the shows out in Isan over the last 2 months. So Pet Indy, Kia Pet, and other shows were regularly in Buriram at their temporary stadium. They're looking to move back to Raja Demnern, and I think we're going to see some really interesting things coming up. So, as always, thank you for listening. This has been On Fighting in Thailand, the best news and analysis, covering the economics and infrastructure of Muay Thai. I'm Matt Lucas, journalist, commentator, and ex-Muay Thai fighter. Make stronger fighters, make stronger people.